Okay, can we please have roll call?
Mr. Abdallah,
Here.
Mr. Azar,
Here.
Mrs. Henderson, Mrs. Hillebrand, Mrs. Karam,
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe, Mr. Moran,
Here.
Mr. Robeson,
Here.
and Mr. Acker.
Here. Can we please have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any changes or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Abdallah,
Yes.
Mr. Azar,
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson,
Yes.
Mrs. Hillebrand, Mrs. Karam,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe, Mr. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. Robeson.
Yes.
Mr. Acker.
Yes. Can I please have a motion to approve the minutes of the meetings of November 19th, December 3rd, and January 7th?
So moved. Second.
On the motion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Abdallah,
Yes.
Mr. Azar,
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson, Mrs. Karam,
Yes.
Mr. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. Robeson.
Yes.
Mr. Acker.
Yes.
7-0.
I think we should note that the board also had executive sessions on November 5th, 19th, and January 7th for the purposes of discussing legal and personal matters. Okay. Are there any board reports at this time? Okay, Gia, you're up. By the way, you've had quite a year
Oh, yes,
going
for
from
sure.
dance to...
Yes. One activity to the next, swimming to dancing. It's very busy, but I'm very much enjoying it. I'm trying to take it all in. All right, so for this evening, I have the athletic notes, and we have multiple program highlights for winter sports all across the board. Starting off with our boys basketball, the Comets are currently in first place in the District 2 Class 5A standings. Recent statement victories include 2 league wins over Scranton Prep and Valley View. Last night in a win at West Scranton, senior Jordan Schaefer reached the 1,000-point milestone for his career, becoming the 16th boys basketball player of all time to reach the achievement. Our AYBL night will be on Friday, January 23rd versus Wallenpaupack, and our senior night will be on Wednesday, February 11th versus West Scranton. For our girls basketball, the Lady Comets earned an impressive road victory over first place Valley View in a strong defensive performance and followed it up with a lopsided victory over West Scranton on Monday while hosting AYBL night. The program continues its Pink Game invite to support all of the American Cancer Society as part of Coaches vs. Cancer. The Pink Game will be here at Abington Heights High School versus North Pocono on Tuesday, February 3rd. And senior night will be on Tuesday, February 10th versus Valley View. For boys wrestling, the team remains undefeated in league competition and is preparing for postseason play. Junior Mason Whitney achieved the 100 wins milestone with a pin at 241 at the Powerade tournament on December 30th. Senior night is tonight, Wednesday, January 21st versus Delaware Valley. For girls wrestling, in their inaugural season, continues to gain experience at high-level tournaments, including the Coal Cracker Tournament, with multiple strong individual performances led by Hayden Manning's 3 tournament championships. The girls have a tri-meet tonight at Wallenpaupack versus the host Lady Buckhorns and Western Wayne Lady Wildcats. For swimming and diving, both boys and girls programs remain undefeated. Outstanding performances at the Ernie Shartle Invitational included multiple meet records, pool records, and a new Abington Heights High School record for the boys' 200 medley relay. Those swimmers include senior Jeff Stanton, senior Derek Williams, senior Jason Casper, and sophomore Charles Wojtek, with a winning time of a 1:39.07. Earlier this season, Micah White set a new school record for the 11-die event with a score of 528.35. Teams are approaching championship season with strong depth across all events. Their senior night will be Wednesday, February 11th versus Dunmore. For Unified Bocce, The team continues a successful season within the Northeast region. Their senior night is scheduled for Tuesday, January 27th versus Lackawanna Trail. For some spring sports registration and clearance reminders, we will have free on-site physicals on Thursday, February 19th, beginning at 5 p.m. by appointment only. Spring sports will begin on March 2nd, 2026. That is all I have for this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know it's a tough act to follow.
Good evening. I have the academic notes for tonight. Our VFAC students, which stands for Vocational, Functional, and Academic Classroom, is launching the school store in February. There has been a soft launch in which students have been selling items during periods 4, 5, 6, and 7. They are planning to wrap up the leftover kitchenware items and shift sales to school supplies, apparel, and special request items that meet the students' interests. Please let Miss Sarah or Miss Danielle Ross know if you would like to stop by sometime to visit with the students and browse the items. FBLA students were very successful at the regional competition. Over 60 members have qualified for states. Dr. Callinger Allen recently submitted a grant to help support students in their endeavors at the state level competition. The cast and crew have begun rehearsing for this year's musical, Oklahoma. Our musical will be held on April 17th, 18th, and 19th at the high school. Ticket and sponsorship information is forthcoming. Please reach out to show producer Miss Allison Covell if you have an interest in a sponsorship. Midterms are scheduled for next week. Students and teachers have been preparing for the mid-year. Spring semester classes are expected to start on January 29th. Special thanks to Miss Allison Rogalevich and Student Council for organizing and hosting our winter semi-formal at the Cultural Center this past Saturday, January 17th. All in attendance had a great time. And that's all.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move the public comment section ahead of the superintendent's report because we have some presentations, which may take some time. So if anyone wishes to address the board, we ask you come forward, identify yourself, where you live, and keep your comments to more or less 3 minutes. If you have not filled out a card, please do so. Okay, at this point, we have 2 people that want to speak to the board. The first is Mark Stoller.
Evening, evening, everybody. I know you have a big presentation, so I just have a couple of things I wanted to bring up to you. First is the presentation that you put on last meeting of the superintendents from the schools. It was dynamite. I wish more people were here to listen to it. Maybe there's a way in your newsletter that you can condense some of the comments they made. There's more people. I don't have kids in the school, but we really would be welcome to know that you have these professionals running these schools. It's something to be commended. I was particularly impressed with the elementary school superintendents. They spoke of the focus and attention that they, the teachers, the aides, special people that you bring in, that they focus on the first graders that are coming into all-day school for the first time. I just wish that more people, and we've heard a lot about that over the last few months, were able to hear it and grasp it, that they're doing a great job at that level. The second thing, and I'll leave you with this, some of you may recall last fall I brought a concern that some of the facilities that we have aren't being used. They're being minimally used. And I think the bullet point of my comments were you should really consider the fate of this 12 acres we're standing on. I came across an article that was in the local paper, and it was dated March 26th of 2024. The school board voted unanimously on an agreement with the Scranton attorney to look into the possibility of selling this 12 acres. At the time, the superintendent Schaefer commented a sale of the site would benefit the district and the community. Sale proceeds could be used to fund projects, offset debt, and the district, this property could possibly be put on the tax rolls. It's going to benefit the borough. Ultimately, it's going to benefit our district. Sounds familiar to me. Is anything happened lately? This was talked about almost 2 years ago.
I'll answer that. I'm just waiting if there's any other.
No,
Yeah,
that's
once you
it.
finish your comment.
I hate to be Betty Lou and Rambo, but that's my
Yeah.
that's my nature. Sorry.
All right. What I'll do is I'll wait. I think we got one more speaker, and then I'll address any of the questions that I'm able to.
Okay. Just so I looked at the use of facilities report from the last meeting, and you had over 550 uses of facilities, which is
It's incredible.
phenomenal in our district. This building had 32. Comes out to about 5%. I'll welcome your comments on selling and using the proceeds on the 12 acres. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Stahl. Okay, next up is Dr. Karen Arscott.
Good evening. Thank you so much. So before I get into my brief concern, I just want to tell you, I'm from Dunmore, my husband's from West Side. Our older children went to Wyoming Seminary, but now we have a high schooler here, and our daughter teaches at CSE. And so we are all about Abington, even went to see the boys soccer team play. So I love Abington. And when last year I found a concern, I thought I should bring it forward. My husband and I come to board meetings whenever we can. My concern is the extracurricular code of conduct, which parents and children have to sign, student athletes have to sign every year. And it's excellent. There's no problem with that at all. I love it. But I do know that last year there was an incident that our daughter was involved in where there was another student athlete and there was something happened and there was some school ramifications, we'll say, that came about. They did not follow, the coach did not follow the code of conduct. So what I thought of, rather than, I don't think it's anything intentional. I think it might just be a lack of communication. So do the coaches, are they aware of the code of conduct, first of all? And second of all, if there is a school suspension or something like that, is that brought to the coach's attention? And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because it was the middle school, and the middle school administration, I thought, handled it very well. I'm going to say that. And when I spoke with the middle school administration about how nothing really happened at the athletic level, they were surprised. And I said, was the coach advised of, and they said, well, yes. But then I thought, maybe the coach isn't aware of, the requirements of the code of conduct. So I just think that there may be a break in communication somewhere along the way. But let's face it, with a lot of these student athletes, if they can still keep playing their sport, they could have an in-school or an out-of-school suspension, but if they can keep playing their sport, guess what? They don't care, because their sport is what is so important to them, right? And we all know that. I was an athlete, so I understand what I'm saying. I just think that maybe if we could bring everybody into the same loop, so that students who do face academic suspension or academic consequences for poor choices, that is reflected in their athletics as well, because maybe that'll mean more to them. Okay, so that's all I wanted to bring up today. And again, thank you. You guys do a great job. Appreciate it. Love being in Abington. Go Comets.
So is this your daughter, Rady?
Yeah, it's my daughter.
Are you
Rainey.
still playing soccer?
Not anymore.
She was a very good soccer player.
Now she runs after little kids at ACSE all the
yeah.
time.
Very good. Dr. Oshkosh, I also would like to thank you very much for your help during COVID, when we had many discussions about masking and so on. And one evening, you weighed in virtually, and I thought it was very, very effective. So thank you very much for your help at that time.
I'll just say, anytime I can help with anything, please, or my husband, either one of us, please feel free to ask. We're here for the whole community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Dr. Schaefer.
All right, Mark. I'll attempt to be brief and probably intentionally vague and ambivalent. The process of exploring choices for the board for this building is intentionally slow. One is we did contract with Rocco Valvano to make sure all the deeds were in order and everything was aligned as it should be, and that is the case. However, one of the pieces of this puzzle that we have been working on diligently, and that's with the board president and vice president mostly, is trying to figure out a location, an adequate location for our maintenance building. So you had mentioned we've got 12 acres on this property. Oftentimes, folks focus on this building, which was turned from a school to a business, really, in 2001 for approximately $3 million. And we have one of our architects here, Jim, and one of the questions we had relative to due diligence is, what would it cost to make this back into a school? And that's just not fiscally responsible to do. And there are plenty of issues, I would say probably mostly mechanical, in this building. However, KCBA, who is here tonight, did do a facility study on our maintenance building, which used to be the Silk Factory, and we are not putting our resources into that because that would be just dead money. So we have looked at Clark Summit University, not only with ourselves, but with engineers and architects to see if there was any solutions that way. We've also looked around town at vacant properties. We have also studied the properties that we own to try to find a place where we could put a maintenance facility, because before we do anything with this building, and the board would most certainly weigh in on that. And when they do weigh in, they will ask me this question. In the event we wanted to go down this road, where would you go as administrators? And then, more importantly, because of all the different equipment that we have to operate and work 660,000 square feet of buildings, we have a lot of equipment that we have to maintain and put in the right spot. And certainly, I would need to have some solutions for that. And then we are working through that, but we're trying to do that in a cost-effective manner. You know, simultaneously, we have started a $50 million project. We have another $1 million project on the docket at South Abington. We had just finished almost $6 million of work up at the high school, and some other projects that are in the works, roofs, mechanicals, things like that. So we are still in that place where we are exploring all of our options, but we first have to figure out what's doable with maintenance. And I wish it was a puzzle that fit together after a lot of hard work, but I feel like sometimes, and I'm sure the board does as well, is like you're a little kid and you're putting together a puzzle and you find out that you're missing like 5 or 10 pieces. You're chasing around dogs trying to figure out where all these pieces went, and it just doesn't seem to go together like you thought. And an example of that would mean, you know, we're looking at options for our maintenance building. We know there will be a cost associated with it. We feel that there may be a way. And then we find out that, you know, we have to replace a roof at the high school. What's priority? I've got 1,300 people up there, and we need to fix the roof. And so priorities switch, but that doesn't necessarily mean this isn't a priority. So I hear everything that you're saying, and I'm working as fast and smart as I can to provide the board with as much information as they will need to make an informed decision.
Thank you. You know, just to add to that, Mr. Scholar, it certainly you point out, you know, a lot of common sense saying this is an obvious possible source of revenue with our projects. At the same time, the board takes very seriously the tradition wrapped up in the football field here and everything going on. So it's not a decision we take lightly. Are you coming back up for a second?
No, I just want to say thank you. Over the last number of months, we've talked about priorities and choices, and I'm behind you 100%. I appreciate the clarifying and fully understand that you got choices and you got priorities. Just didn't want to lose sight of this discussion either. That's all.
No, I haven't. That's fine.
We certainly haven't,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know,
Okay.
it would be easy if it didn't have a lot of dangling participles attached to it, so to speak.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you.
Either way, the target gets bigger and bigger and bigger from there back.
Okay.
One other, Karen, or Scott, I can't even read my own writing. Thank you for the comments, and while I can't comment on any particular situation, I really don't know the details. What I would say is the answers to your question are yes and yes. Our coaches are aware, at least my expectation, the expectation of athletic director and principals are that our coaches are aware and implement those policies with fidelity. With that said, we are a large organization, and any organization that I've been a part of, any time that we don't implement policy as intended, it usually boils down to a communication error. So this is something that I'll follow up on and figure that out and see if there was a lapse and then what we need to do to course correct. Thank you very much. You're no problem.
Okay. Any other public comment? Then let's move on to the superintendent's report, and Dr. Schaefer and KCBA.
Sure. Say that again? Oh, do we have?
There's some,
They're not on here. Oh, there's.
Oh, they're observed. Okay.
I just want to give them a chance before we go
Yep.
down a mole.
I've asked. Okay. In that case, Dr. Schaefer.
Sure. I'm about to invite up members of our project team, our architect, as well as our construction management team. But before we do, I just need to make a few comments. You know, I try not to lose sight of our focus and our mission as an educational organization, as a leader, as a member of a board, and to think about our board members. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the passing of a current student, a member of the class of 2026, Autumn Beamer, and as well as a recent graduate. And it's times like this that make me stop and pause and think about my role as a father, as an administrator, as somebody that works within the community. And I want to just pass on the words of some of the family members that were immediately involved that I had the opportunity to speak with, and they wanted for me to convey their deep gratitude and appreciation for the support that this community gave them. That is not surprising to me, in that this is unfortunately not the first tragedy or tragedies, and it most likely will not be the last. But what makes this community great and Abington Heights School District great is it's that fabric and the people that give and give and give. That doesn't necessarily have to be monetary at all. It is emotional support. It is support in ways that we just can't fathom. But I wanted to publicly acknowledge the importance of our community and how they help us as an organization and as a district and a community to move forward in remembering these fine young people that we lost way too early. So with that said, I'll have that hard segue and introduce our project team here so that they can provide us with a progress report.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be back. I'm Jim Kiefer from KCBA Architects. I've been working on the middle school project for a year and a half now. So a lot of you have seen me before. With me is Matt and Mike from ICS. And we just want to give you hopefully a brief update on what's happening out at the middle school and answer any questions you have about the project. Okay. So first, we'll start with the site plan. Just to orient everybody, the existing building is dead center in white. It is the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in that building. And the building was not adequately sized for the amount of students that were in there. So we looked at a bunch of solutions, but the solution that we arrived at, which was the best choice for the district, was to do a significant addition on the west side of the building that would move 7th and 8th grade out of the half circle and provide additional academic space. It also involves building a new gymnasium. So at the south end of that gray bar is a new gymnasium to supplement the athletics that are on the other end of the building. First part of the project was implementing site work this summer so that school could function this past fall. There was a lot of teamwork involved with the on-site administration and ICS, along with KCBA, to come up with a plan for how do we start construction and keep the students and the faculty safe at all times. So construction started on the addition, the big red piece of the building on the west side there. And we also, because that was going on the existing parking lot, we expanded the parking lot this summer that's on the east side of the building. That was completed, and we developed a circulation path for how the buses were going to drop off and pick up, how the parents were going to drop off and pick up, and where the staff was going to park. That was a complicated exercise, but we did get it implemented. And construction has now moved into, the contractors are on the west side of the site, and they are building the addition and doing all the site work on that side where the big red parking lot is there, but also down the hill, they're building basins and doing all the site work that's on that end of the property. Once that addition is built, then we're going to move to a new phase where administration moves into the building and we renovate a portion of the old building and do some more of the site work. But that's quite a ways down the road. We're going to be in this phase for the next year, year and a half. Some quick floor plans. The building exists now as 2 floors. This is the lower floor. It's only those classrooms that are in the lower part of the half circle. We're showing, these are our Plan-Con plans. So the blue is saying this is existing space. We can go to the second plan. This is the main floor of the building. Blue is existing space and red is new space. So this is a good diagram to show you what the scope of the project is. All the red is being added to the building. We are demolishing a very small amount of the existing building. This project is really primarily the addition. And this is the second floor. The academic bar is 2 stories. There's 7th grade on one floor, 8th grade on the other floor. And this is, you also see the upper part of the gym. So that is currently underway. ICS is going to walk through some of the slides to just give you a construction update of what it looks like out there today.
Good evening, Mike Hartney with ICS. So just to give you guys a brief idea of kind of like what's been going on site. You know, projects look a little bit slower in the beginning because a lot of stuff goes in the ground that you don't see. Probably anybody that's driven by there now looks like things are flying because the structural steel is starting to go up. But there's a lot of work getting the building pad prepped for those type of things. So where we are right now currently is all of our concrete footers and foundations piers have been completed to allow us to start setting steel. The steel erection started in mid-December, continues to progress greatly, should be done probably somewhere around the 3rd week of February. It's one of the activities that we could continue to do with the cold temperatures. So we're finding ways to continue to be productive on the site. As far as the MEP stuff, which is your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, we got about 50% of the plumbing and electrical in the building pad addition before the ground froze. So we did get a bunch of it in, but we do have some more work to do in there. So we won't be pouring those concrete slabs just yet. They'll probably come closer to the spring. We're able to get some temporary lighting in there, get our super still structure kind of set. And the MEP contractors have begun installing all the penetrations between the second floor and the first floor in the addition. The site work has been a little bit challenging. As you guys know, it's built on the side of a mountain, and there's a lot of rock. So on the back side of the building, we had to put in stormwater. Right now, it's in solid rock about 10 to 12 feet down. So guys are lucky if they get about 30 feet in a day with all the stuff. But we continue to put the stormwater in, which is part of the sequence for the Conservation District. It's why we built the 2 basins down at the bottom of the hill. So eventually all that water kind of funnels into there. Once that's done, we could start building our parking lots and stuff up on the top part of the building. So one of the things that we ended up doing, working with KCBA, what you're going to see here as we kind of go through is what the rendering of the main entrance or whatever area of the building we're in is going to look like and where it currently is in progress. So this would be what the main entrance looks like. The next slide will show you this is where we are right now with the progress photo. You can kind of see how it's starting to come together and take shape. Side approach, again, some of the walls that we installed inside the building, 20 feet deep to get down and put these walls next to the existing building. Takes a little bit of time. That's your stair tower on the back side. Yep, right there, stair tower, and you can see it in the next picture. Elevator pits installed, so it's coming along good. Your main lobby, and again, the next picture will show you kind of what it looks like right now. Can't really see it, but it is coming into focus. Again, your learning stairs, and where they currently would sit kind of in the building, or no, this is the back side of the building, yeah. Yeah, the little yellow arrow that's pointed there. The other piece that you're looking at there in the bottom side, there are openings in the foundation for us to be able to get all the underground utilities into the mechanical room in the back space. And then these would be one of your typical classrooms, which again, you'll see in the next picture. It's the second floor where the decking is been installed. STEM classrooms, and again, a beautiful view of the scenery behind it. And then there's your gym lobby, which is going to be the least completed at this point. Something cool a couple weeks ago, the main trusses that run across the gym are approximately 73 feet long. When they put them on the tractor trailers, which we have pictures of coming in, the trailers themselves were about 96 feet long, came through Clark Summit, up the hill, and onto your construction site. So that was pretty fun to watch. And then your courtyard, which will sit in the middle right now, just looks like an open pile of dirt. Things to look forward to coming up. Again, I touched on this, steel, all of it. Decking, detailing, all that stuff should be done somewhere around the end of February, which works out good because hopefully March brings us some warmer weather and we can start activities like roofing and things like that. Continued installation of CMU as the weather permits. The back side of your building where your gym is all CMU. The front side of the building is mostly cold form framing, so we can get that stuff up as we go. And that's why I have that listed on there. You guys will start seeing the framing come up on the front side of the building along with some of the exterior sheathing. As far as the MEP guys go, they're going to get as far ahead as they can by installing hangings on, excuse me, hangers on the first floor to carry, their overhead utilities once we get in there and start putting that in. And then, of course, a continuation of electrical and underground plumbing rough-ins. And then the site work, again, it's a tedious task, but it's one thing that you could continue to do in the winter because rock doesn't freeze. And then again, we talked about this. There are several phases to the project. This phase of getting the addition done to a point where we could take the administration and put them in. Contractually, it's targeted for somewhere in April. We're hoping to be in there by February. Gives us a little bit of fluff with the weather, so we'll continue. Once we get more into the summer months and we get a better idea, we can give a more accurate date as to when we're going to make that transition. With that, I'll let Matt talk about the budget.
Thanks, everybody. Matt Kelly with ICS. Last slide here, just keep it high level. Dr. Schaefer mentioned it's a $50 million budget. We are on budget right now. We are about 28% complete, and you can kind of see that. It's hard to see on this slide here, but the bottom right's 28%. We have about 72% left in the budget. That coincides with the completion of work, too. You know, we're 7 months in, about 28% complete, so we're on track with all that. We have not had any major change orders. We still have around $1 million in contingency in the budget, so we're looking good right now. So I want to thank the board again for having us, and thank Dr. Schaefer and Michelle, principal, is here. They've been great to work with throughout this process and making our lives much easier to make sure we get this building done for you. So,
Can we go back to the outdoors? Ah, right there, that's perfect. Right there, perfect. So I just want to emphasize a point that you made. One of the adjustments that we made to the timeline that we just mentioned here was getting the administration building portion completed and the team moved in February of '27. And the reason why that is right here. You know, this would have been the old main entrance, and then right here, if we took these off, this is where the main office is. But this would be a really big special education classroom. So if you've ever been in the middle school office, that's the whole space we're talking about. So what we need to do is get them out of here and over here in February, because originally we are going to have to do all this work in the summer. So all of the high renovation is what we call it. So when we just gut everything inside, and there isn't much we're gutting, maybe 12,000 square feet, something like that. We want more time than the summer. So the way to do that is if we can speed up this process and get our admin team in their building in February, that will allow the construction team to get in here and start quietly, because school's still going on, taking everything apart. So when the summer comes, we can do that, and then this classroom and everything else will be completed, so we can move in on time. So that's one of those targets that we're going to be looking at, because we could be almost ready to go, but almost doesn't count when you're opening up a new building. So we'll need to have that. We'll need to have that done. So we're excited about that. And you mentioned some of the MEP work. We're currently running the new fire alarm system in there. So I took some of the board members through the school yesterday, and a couple of them looked up and they saw the fire alarms with the piece of tape over it, and I said that's one of the things that we're doing. So there are multiple projects going on at the same time. Now, there's a lot of eyes on the steel and all the fun stuff that you see outside, but there's plenty of things happening inside as well. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank everybody for their work. And then finally, as the last slide was about the budget, and it's important to emphasize to everybody that's listening now or that follows this plan is that it has always been our intention to have a stage 2 to this project, right? This is stage 1, and that's what we could afford. Stage 2 would be the second half of the building, and maybe that happens in 4 years. Maybe it happens in 15 when many of us aren't here. But when it does happen, all the groundwork will be laid for them. All the mechanicals are going to be there. The building is reinforced as if there will be another addition made onto it. One of the cost overruns that we came across was some work with UGI, in that we were we were getting ready for adding on as if we would have this building, even though we don't. But so this will make the next board or the board after that or the board after that, it will make their jobs much easier. All the civil engineering work will be done. When we take a look at the aerial pictures of the school, know that the whole stormwater runoff is designed for stage 1 and stage 2. There will be nothing for them to do in that area. So I think that that's really important to mention because that's a lot of work and that does cost. And, you know, we're doing it now at these prices, and I can't imagine what it'd be, you know, even 10 years down the road. So, what questions do we have for this fine group?
I don't know, that's really a question, just a comment. Thank you. Obviously, a ton of work went into this. I was one of the board members who toured the middle school yesterday, and to say that we are overcrowded the way we are now would be like the understatement of the century, right? Like, I'm sure there's a standard, it's not a standard, a lot of us would agree is the best practice, right? And, you know, we made a lot of decisions, spending a lot of money. There's zero buyer's remorse on my part. Like, we went in there yesterday, we looked around, very much needed, and it's amazing to see this come to fruition. So thank you for your work.
Mrs. Karam?
I was with Greg yesterday and a few others, and I also want to commend you because I have kids in the school, and they come home with commentary, you know, color commentary on what work is going on, but it's not been disruptive, and it's impressive, you know, that it's not disruptive. I would argue that, to Greg's point, you know, the current situation is more disruptive than the construction. So I just want to thank you guys for doing such a great job and you know, making us look good. So thanks.
So, Mrs. Karam, you're saying you have some secret shoppers in your house for the project?
Any surprises?
Let you jump in.
I would say the biggest surprise would be how cold it got and how quick it got that cold. You know, I've been building a long time. I started as an electrician. I worked in the field for 25 years before I got into this side of the business. And, you know, I appreciate those people for being out there working in those type of environments. They continue to be productive. And I don't remember a winter this cold in a long time. So, you know, that would be the biggest surprise.
It's
The rest
gonna
of
get a
it,
lot better on Sunday and Monday.
yeah, I'm hearing that. So, you know, and just to let you know, we've had tons of discussions about ways to continue to push the schedule once we get better weather. You know, weather is something that you kind of have to deal with, but we've already had conversations with the Masons about, you know, working 410s and then working an 8-hour day on a Friday to continue, you know, having 2 crews, you know, whether it's brick and CMU. And I think it's best plans, you know, that's the way you have to approach things. So there has not been any surprises outside of the fact that, like I said, it got awfully cold very, very quickly.
Well, it's cold, but Dr. Schaefer had me on the roof.
Yeah.
That's where it's really cold.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 15 degrees cold.
Yeah, yesterday was.
We don't share that when the insurance company's listening.
No.
Yeah, just sign a word.
It's all right. I signed the waiver.
That's right, that's right.
Are you covered by the insurance? I'm not sure. We should check the policy.
Who's Anthony?
So when you look at a school project, you guys know better than anybody that timelines are tough because you really have to begin and finish contingent with the school year. You know, you want to be finished so everybody can move into the new unit, and that's obviously the pressure. So I know you guys are saying you're on schedule and so on, but you guys have done this. Jim, how many times have you built buildings like this? Dozens and dozens. So what does your tummy tell you in terms of the schedule? Do you believe we'll be able to open up this building at the start of the school year when we need to?
So, yeah, again, most of my work was in schools too. My tummy tells me we were in good shape because I feel like the schedule was built the right way where it gave us some flexibility. Like I said, the original schedule showed the addition work being complete more towards the end of April. Right now, you know, fingers crossed, we're kind of still targeted in that February range. I think the other thing that has been tremendous is the ability to have people like Principal Snyder who allow us an opportunity to get ahead in places. So, like, one of the things that we've been trying to do to continue to remain on schedule, the fire alarm system that's being installed, we worked with the design team, with Jim's team, to relocate one of the panels so that we can program it early and not have to wait for the addition. So there are constant ways that we're looking ahead to make sure that we're in a situation where the addition is complete, everything's good to go, and, you know, we're finalizing some of those other areas over the summer. But I definitely feel like we're on schedule and in a spot where we're going to be successful for when we're ready to open it that second summer.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you very much for your efforts. We're all excited, and, you know, we're in a hurry. I'm sure you are too, and I know Principal Snyder is really in a hurry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Schaefer,
Treasurer and
excuse me,
bills.
the next would be our treasurer's report. Mrs. Karam?
I have two tonight. So the November report, we began the month with a cash balance of $27,219,922.82. We took in monthly revenues of $8,389,635.39. Our net disbursements were $5,659,804.41 for a cash balance available of $29,949,753.80. The December report, as I just mentioned, we began the month with a cash balance of $29,949,753.80. We took in monthly revenues of $4,643,499.63. Our net disbursements were $5,222,727 for a cash balance available of $29,370,525.45.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mrs. Karam? I'd call for a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
and bills as
Second.
presented. On the motion, roll call, please.
Mr. Azar?
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Karam?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Mr. Abdallah?
Yes.
And Mr. Acker?
Yes.
Carries 7-0.
Dr. Schaefer, personnel.
All right. Sir, could I ask the board to consider a motion to approve the personnel report as presented?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion, roll call, please.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Karam?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Mr. Abdallah?
Yes.
Mr. Azar?
Yes.
Mr. Acker?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you very much. The next portion would be the volunteer list, and as Mr. Stoller correctly pointed out, it's pages long and many activities and so on. We also request the board to approve the December and January volunteer list.
So moved.
You can do it, yeah, it's fine, yeah, you can do it.
Second.
I'm delegating right now, unbeknownst to myself.
On the motion, roll call, please.
Mrs. Karam?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Mr. Abdallah?
Yes.
Mr. Azar?
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
And Mr. Acker?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you. Okay, now I would say, so, are there any additional information for the board? I believe there's some unfinished business.
Yes, there is. Last, Oh, Gretchen has.
I'll go new business, that's fine.
Go
Carry
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
I have some info.
Okay.
So I don't think it was mentioned in the activity report. The mock trial team kicked off the season at Superintendent Schaefer's alma mater down at UPenn. Didn't look like they got snow from the pictures.
No, they didn't. I bet it was
It looked tropical there.
That's,
But it's a good sign because the mock trial season has started. It was an exhibition match. It's an invitational. And the first match is against Mid-Valley on February 11th.
Thank you.
and that's a great team with a long history of success. Couple
Mrs.
special
Henderson.
members, right.
Okay, I just wanted to announce, yesterday Dr. Koss sent out a email to the families to let them know that we have something coming up for the Community Engagement Series. We'll be partnering with the Waverly Community House. It'll be a screening of Screenagers, which is a documentary written by a physician, award-winning filmmaker and parent who focuses on the different complexities and stresses that basically technology, the struggles that it faces with our youth. It's going to focus on social media, video games, and internet addiction. It's just a critical way to help families face the challenges and to help empower them to work through some of the issues that their children may be facing. The purpose of the film is to raise awareness, reduce fear and blame, and to help families better understand the roles that screens play in students' mental health and development. We are encouraging students and their families to join us, grades 4 and above. After the film, there will be a brief discussion period, so please bring a friend. It is open to all community members. I would even say reach out to your friends that don't have children that go to Abington, but are in surrounding districts, because I think the more people that we have that are able to be exposed to this kind of information would be best. But that's February 19th, 6 p.m., the Waverly Community House in the gym. So, Dr. Koss, thank you for helping set that up.
Thank you.
I'm going to add on to Gretchen's comments and the work that really Dr. Koss and with the support of Gretchen are doing, and I'll be really frank on it, is that we have a lot of tremendous programming for our parents and students here in Abington Heights. And Screenagers is showing at the COM because we are trying as hard as we can to switch locations, whatever we can, to get more bodies in to see some of these very important messages. And we mentioned here screen time, and without a doubt, there's a lot there. And we do a lot with drugs, alcohol, mental health, student leadership, character development, self-esteem, self-worth, self-advocacy. And we don't get a lot of folks there. And, I'm glad I'm seeing more people out here, and I wish it was filled, because we're doing everything we can. And sometimes it's frustrating, because at the end of the year, we'll take a look at that and we'll put out our survey and we'll ask people what they want. We do. We ask you, what's a good time? What day of the week? Where? Can we piggyback it off an orientation, a sports presentation? So if anybody's out there listening and you can kind of spread the word, this is really important. In fact, I would say this is, one of the most important things that you can do as a parent listening to this, or a grandparent. So try to get out there and increase our attendance.
Bring a buddy.
Yeah, bring a buddy. And finally, I'm unfinished business. Well, you did my, yeah, right? So so I'll do your unfinished business. Yeah. Yes. Last week, we had some members of the band boosters come here and request the board's assistance in the purchasing of some new band uniforms. And The band uniforms are an outlier relative to the rest of the uniforms because, you know, they're made to last longer, and in fact, these uniforms lasted 25 years. And we have been working with the producer of these, and I think we're down to about 125 uniforms at a cost of around $70,000. And $70,000 is a lot of money for uniforms. However, they're lasting 20 years. And one thing that I always like to talk about is how when you take a look at a large figure like this, that may, if the board would want to spend that, is you have to annualize that cost or amortize that cost out. So the way I look at that is, if these uniforms lasted 20 years, that would be 2,000 students in band that would get to use them. So if I said, hey, would you guys support $35 a student a year on band, you would say yes, knowing what a book costs, knowing what a calculator costs, knowing what anything else, any supply cost. So that's really important that you amortize that cost out over time. If these uniforms are ordered by the first week of February, I do believe that they would be in the summer, which would be a great time for the band. And so I'm putting that out there to the board as I work on that. So if there's any questions, you know, feel free to ask me now or whatnot, but I just wanted to make sure and get that out in the public.
Is that 70 the total cost of the uniforms, or is that the cost to the district?
That's the cost to the district. I took out the money that they would
raising.
contribute, yeah.
So you're expecting to probably have this as a motion at the next meeting?
Yep. Barring any, you know, questions or problems.
Very good. Okay. Any new business? In that case, I'd call for an adjournment.
So moved.
We're adjourned. Thank you all for coming.